Hello, I'm Radha Gomaty. I am the curator coordinator of a platform called Ekarasa, and our tagline is All for Art for All. And as I go into this, let me give you a couple of lines as to how I'm doing what I'm doing today. I'm basically an artist, a writer, a sculptor, and I've also done a whole lot of things I think in life as part of sometimes keeping body and soul together. Which includes newscasting, script writing, being a school teacher for a long time, and a whole lot of other things. And in between also came an experience with upcycling, which is still ongoing, where I have a small brand called Sling It, and working with waste kind of became a metaphor for working with my own life. And it's still a very positive energizer and inspiration that works at the back of my mind. So wandering all through these ways, and after also completing a year at NID and then my basic degree in Faculty of Fine Arts, Baroda in painting department, and followed by a year's break and my masters in Vishwabharati University, Shantiniketan, where I did my history of art, and life took me on a complete roller coaster ride, which actually enabled me to see the underbelly of a whole lot of realities in Kerala, the home state where I was born. And at the end of it all, by last year, somehow I landed up in this digital studio called Sparks Digital Studio, run by someone who ended up being a very close friend and a powerful creative partner, Thomas Agasti, who I saw was an artist at heart, who was completely a self-taught techie too, and who would have loved to have the education that I had, which I had taken pretty lightly, because my education mainly I thought came from life. So sitting there, it was, and also working on a couple of projects together, slowly a platform began to organically grow, which is Ekarasa. So it started off with actually calling for some people who would be interested in a day's sketching workshop, which we held for free in a little gallery in Fort Cochin. And the response was about 8 to 10 people, and it was really a very enriching experience. It was called My Heart, and it taught us a whole lot of things. There was also this experience of an architect friend of mine who has reached midlife now, achieved everything that he needs in life, and wanted to restart his interest in watercolors, and we organized a little class for him in our office. And then we thought, hey, why don't we do this on a larger platform? Make sure that it's a residential workshop by which people get out of their everyday lives, their homes also, for at least a night and 2 days. And another contributory factor to this has also been my discussions with women who come to buy my upcycle bags in the stalls where I sit and do my direct marketing, who come and share all kinds of things. And I came to know that stifled creativity and lack of sustained supporting friendships is one major reason why people even fall physically ill. And art actually is a way by which we push boundaries, by which we refresh ourselves and become clear. And this is what actually Ekarasa can do. And our definition of art must never be narrow, must never be confined to only painters and writers and filmmakers and so on. It must include everyone with any creative urge to push or question any boundary in any aspect and any facet of life. So we started our first thing with Shruti Karthika, our first faculty member, who's actually doing her PG in theatre in Pondicherry. We did a de-stress workshop called Unleash, Release, Ease, a soul scrub therapy for women. And it ended up as, if you check our Ekarasa page on FB, at least 3 of the reviews come from participants in that camp who say that it was a wonderful, playful, warm and liberating experience that felt like a group hug. And we also know that touch is something that we are deeply deprived of, and that entire exercise was based on a lot of touch, a lot of movement and a whole lot of things. And my own inspiration came from some of the theatre workshops that I have been attending of late, and also a 3-day filmmaking workshop where always, as an artist, you always know that your body is actually a tool for liberation, and it's not actually a confinement and a prison. And that way, I think we were able to bring a lot of elements in. The next thing that we did was a writer's workshop, where there are a whole lot of people. And for me, writing came at a time when I couldn't do anything else. And really, I have 2 published publications of poetry, and I used to write to actually keep myself together. And I know that there are a whole lot of people out there. There's no training for writing or any of these things. First you have a calling, and then the training follows. So that particular Right by the River camp that we held by Ekarasa has proved to be very rewarding. And we have a lot of calls for doing repeats of both these, and we are also thinking in terms of, in fact, we would say, hey, come to our page, send us your bucket list. We are never too young or too old to have a bucket list, and it is time for us to be doing that and talk to us, communicate to us, so that we can actually design these workshops and get-togethers for you. Another thing that we do is curation, because as an artist, I find that it's an absolute privilege to visit artist friends and their studios, and I have not done that enough, and to actually appreciate where the art comes from. And I think that is an absolutely fascinating process, and we need to be able to do this so that art gets closer to people. So there are a whole lot of exercises like this that come under Ekarasa, and believe me, a platform that says all for art for all belongs to you. Therefore, get back to us, communicate, talk, so that we can do our best for you. Thank you. Thank you, TGIF, for calling me here.